What's up, y'all? This is your commish, and this is another week of recap and preview. But before we get started, we have a storyline that is kind of developing. It's in its infancy stage, but it could be. We'll call it the curse of reversal of fortune. Two teams both starting in opposite directions. Blue Thunder, 5-0, who seeks his first playoff appearance since the team's inception in 2012. VBS, on the other hand, our reigning champ, who was 0-5, was looking to get his first win. Blue Thunder hasn't won more than 6 games since he started playing fantasy football. VBS hasn't won less than 8 games since he joined. You may ask, why is this a story, or is it even worth mentioning? Well, let's make it one. Blue Thunder squared off against the Guru last week and lost his first match, while VBS exploded all over LTTO to get his first win. This was the first week where we saw Thor make a huge coaching mistake by inserting Noodle Arm into his lineup. We all know where Noodle Arm was for the past 5 weeks. On the other hand, VBS's trades are really working out for him. So, let's ask ourselves a question. Did VBS dangle the Manning Noodle Arm carrot in front of Blue Thunder so he'd go pick him up and curse his team? Or does Thor's software just have a bug in it? Who knows, but we'll find out. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. The Guru, riding on Tom, terrific Tom, and Eagles D went out on Monday night and earned the W. For LTTO fans, all I can say is that paper bags are out. Team chemistry is just not there. People scoring on off weeks, not scoring when one guy does good, in this case luck, the rest of the teams put up duds. So maybe this week they can all get on the same page and help their GM out. Otherwise the paper bags will call for his end. In other matches, we're going to call Brown and Gronk B&G because I get a little tongue-tied when I start try to say Brown and Gronk. So, in other matches, B&G had his stable of running backs plowing ahead to beat Bust Mode Gang. And Bust Mode Gang, we'll refer to them as BMG. BMG is the proper term for Marshawn, but the GM may want to think about completely disassociating his team from Marshawn Lynch. So these are the numbers, and I want you to guess what they are. 12.4, 6.2, 2.3, 0, 0, and 11.4. Any guesses? Yep, some of you may guess they're right, especially BMG GM. Those are Marshawn Lynch's year-to-date fantasy numbers. Garbage! Alright, so now, moving on. Don't look now, but someone's streaking. After an 0-2 start, Jersey Strong has ripped off 4 consecutive wins. Jersey has made the playoffs every year since joining the league, interestingly enough. Jersey is a stealth player, right? No one talks about him on WhatsApp. He does his thing very quietly, picks up his players, plays them, and just wins games, 4 in a row, gets to playoffs every year. So a lot of things going right for Jersey. So he quietly whooped up on Stewie, but no one even talks about it, right? Some may argue that beating Stewie is not really an achievement, which I would tend to agree with that. And even looking at Jersey Strong's schedule, who has he beat so far? He's beat LTTO, Chuck Day, VBS, and Stewie. So my advice to Jersey is even if you are quietly, and maybe you have some high hopes, you haven't really played stiff competition. And when you did, you lost. So, but good job to you, 4-game winning streak, and maybe this week you can continue that. But we'll see. So, last match of week 6 featured 2 of our holiest teams, Hindu versus Christian. Being a Hindu, I sided with Chuck Day, but living in America and NFL, being born in America, how can you not go with the Christian, right? So the Christians won again. Just like the Broncos of Rio, though, Tim Tebow is living and dying with the Broncos defense, right? So just, you know, I think God has blessed the Broncos defense in Rio and in fantasy, and I think Tim Tebow is wishing and hoping and praying that God blesses the rest of his players, because this week it seems pretty bad. So last week I went, got a losing record. I went 2-3. So this week, hopefully you guys can help me out. I know the guys that I've, predicted to lose probably don't think so, but let's try to go 5-0 this week. So let's do a Week 7 preview. Week 7 should be an exciting week for all. So the first match, this is a tie for the top record in our league. It's going to be Brown and Gronk squaring off against Blue Thunder. Yahoo has the projections pretty close, but I like B&G's chances because he's got, like I said, the stable of those thoroughbred running backs with Gurley and now Chris Ivory and Lamar Miller showing up from nowhere. So those running backs are probably going to finish the race before Devontae Freeman and those backs do. So I give the edge to B&G's running backs. But once again, we'll have to wait probably till Monday night. So Blue Thunder, you're gonna have to wait just like you did past Monday for Eli Manning to basically, screw you. You're gonna have to wait this week for Carson Palmer to screw you again on Monday. So we'll find out Monday night who's the winner. But I actually will predict that B&G rolls and gets the win, and we will have a tie record at the top. So, all right, so with the bye week hitting Chuck the hardest this week, it's going to be a tough matchup for him against LTTO. LTTO will finally debut both of his traded running backs, or that he traded for, on the field at the same time. Because if you remember, last week he did not play LaShawn McCoy, yet he did play Frank Gore. So this week he will have LaShawn McCoy, Frank Gore, as well as Mark Ingram added to the mix. So those running backs are pretty scary if they play the way they do, because they're all plotters, right? They run between the tackle and really get some yards. So yards after contact is a big one for him. And then you add Luck to the mix. Luck had a great, promising game last week, and this week, hopefully he continues his success. So I'm going to give the win, and I'm going to give an easy win, actually, to LTTO against Chuck Day. Let's see where we're at. So our next matchup, it's like a boring Thursday night football game, right? No one really cares. It's Stewie the Devil versus VBS. And the only entertainment value this matchup will have is basically what is going to be said on WhatsApp during the game, right? Because we know that Stewie the Devil is going to drop F-bombs and, hey, this person is garbage, and drop some Indian cuss words, and then you have VBS using his strategic answers and whatnot to answer back and pull out historical facts from the chat history. So it'll be interesting, and that'll be pretty good entertainment. But the match itself is pretty done. But I do think this week, everyone is matched up pretty closely. Running backs are pretty close, but I do give Stewie a slight edge because of Adrian Peterson. And then I think Rivers. So Phillip Rivers against the Raiders, I don't think he's going to meet his full potential, his projection. So therefore, I will continue rooting for Stewie on this one. So I think Stewie wins. And if Stewie wins, then obviously the prophecy that a reversal of fortune, it's not going to play out. And therefore, it'll just become a headline for this week. So, but once again, if it goes the other way, then the prophecy is still intact if both things happen. But I do give Stewie the win. Finally, the closest matchup this week by projection is going to be Bust Mode Gang versus Jersey. This match is important for BMG, basically to keep up in the race at a 3-3 record, and where Jersey Strong is at 4-2, BMG is at 4-2, and then Tim Tebow 4-2. So BMG will, has to win to keep in the playoff race at least close to as possible. You don't want to get too behind those top teams. And of course, I forgot about Blue Thunder, who's alone at the top. So, but obviously BMG needs Julio to basically play this week like he normally does, right? For his standards, he's been pretty disappointing the last 3 weeks. And then for, the thing that Jersey Strong is going for him is DeAndre has basically played way above his standards and is just kicking ass. I think out of the 6 weeks, he only had 1 week where he scored less than 10 points. So I'm gonna have to give basically Jersey Strong the edge here and to win, because like I said, DeAndre is playing like his life depended on it. If you guys ever watched that movie Speed, where the bus couldn't go less than 50 miles per hour, and if it did, then basically the bus blows up. Well, DeAndre Hopkins is that freaking bus. He said to himself, I cannot score less than 15 fantasy points per game. If I do, then I will burst into flames. And that's exactly what he's doing. So I see him continuing his streak, and he will outduel Julio and basically will win that match. And finally, we have Tim Tebow. He's going to come down from his Zwerglog this week and come down to reality, because I really do believe that the Guru is going to put a thumping on Tim Tebow this week. Tim Tebow is playing a lot of garbage players, Carlos Hyde, and just very not very cool, good players. And I think the veteran leadership of Larry Fitzgerald, Brandon Marshall, Tom Brady, all these guys is really going to help out the Guru, and they're just going to dominate. So there's really nothing else to say about that. So the Guru will move to 4-3 this week, and Tim Tebow will basically go down to 4-3. So there you have it, guys. My picks for this week are BNG, LTTO, Stewie, Jersey Strong, and the Guru. And that's all I have for you guys this week, and I will see you next week. Thank you, guys.